Food labeling laws, what they do and don't have to tell you. Good morning and welcome back to the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition, where we're going to break down the food system, one label, one law, and one truth at a time. I'm Ryan, and today we're cracking open the pantry, flipping over the package and asking the question, what do food labels actually have to tell you, and what's being left off? Because behind that smiling cow logo, the green fields, the all natural label, buzzwords, and heart healthy symbols, there's a quiet world of legal loopholes, marketing tricks, and regulatory gray zones. Today we're putting on our glasses and reading the fine print together. So let's go. So, what's required by law and what's not? Let's start with the basics. In the United States, food labeling is governed primarily by the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, the Not for Nothing Administration. Anyway, for meat and poultry by the USDA, the Department of Agriculture. Although I don't think they've grown anything recently besides legislation. But anyway, that's a different show. Anyway, they require a few things legally that is, to be on the label. Here's what must be there: the name of the product, the net quantity, how much is in the package, the ingredients list in descending order by weight. Now, that's kind of an important little detail because some things might not weigh anything. Allergen declarations for the top 9 major allergens. Nutrition facts panel, name and address of the manufacturer, packer, or distributor. Seems straightforward, right? But here's the kicker: what these agencies define as mandatory can often fall short of what the average consumer assumes they're getting. Let's talk about the difference between legal truth and whole truth. Chapter the natural illusion. So let's take a good old walk down the cereal aisle. That place. You grab a box that says all natural with leaves and grains drawn on the front. Well, that must mean it's healthy, right? No artificial stuff? Wrong. Here's the legal reality: natural has no official definition by the FDA. Hmm. It's one of the most misunderstood and misused claims on the food shelf. The FDA has said natural means nothing artificial or synthetic has been added. But that doesn't include things like pesticides, genetically modified ingredients, or heavily processed sugars. Hmm. So that natural granola bar, well, it could still contain GMO, corn syrup, factory farm dairy, legally. And the USDA's definition for natural and meat products, well, it just means no artificial ingredients or added color and minimally processed. Hmm. That's it. It says nothing about how the animal was raised. It really tells us nothing. So natural might not mean what you think. It might mean not neon colored, but it doesn't mean good for you, clean, or even ethically sourced. Now, organic. Now that's a thing, that's a buzzword, right? A label with teeth, you might say. Let's shift gears. What about organic? That green USDA organic seal. This one actually does have legal teeth. The National Organic Program, or NOP, overseen by the USDA, lays out some pretty strict standards. No synthetic pesticides or fertilizers, no GMOs, no antibiotics or growth hormones, organic feed for livestock, and access to the outdoor for animals. Now, I happen to know somebody who raises beef and whatnot organic, and they have gotten that certification. And I will tell you that, yeah, they say it is a very strict and very hard thing to get. So I don't know, but it's not perfect now. And there are some large scale organic operations that test the limits of the rules. But compared to natural, organic is the real deal. It's a certified process, not just a marketing claim. But organic is also voluntary. A farmer has to opt in, go through the certification process, and pay for it. That means there are plenty of small, local farmers doing things even better than organic who just can't afford the label. So while organic is a strong standard, it's not the only way to farm responsibly. Now, here's a big one right now. This is a hot issue, and they're pushing to have this stuff going back the other way. And that is country of origin. Do you have a right to know? That's a good question. Let's say you're at the butcher counter and you see a package labeled product of USA. Seems safe, right? Not so fast. Not so fast at all. Under USDA rules, product of USA can mean the animal was born, raised, and slaughtered overseas, but the meat was processed or packaged in the US. Seems suspicious. That's right. Your product of USA steak might be from a cow raised in Brazil, Australia, or even Mexico. As long as it was cut or wrapped here, it qualifies. There's been public pushback and legislative attempts to tighten this up, especially from American ranchers. But as of today, the loophole is still wide open. So, what's next? GMOs. Labeled or hidden? Let's see. Here's a big one. GMO ingredients. Back in 2016, Congress passed a law requiring disclosure of genetically modified ingredients, but the details, they're a little fuzzy, you might say, a little fuzzy. Instead of a clear contains GMO labels, manufacturers are allowed to use a QR code that you have to scan, or a website link, a phone number, or a symbol like a happy sun and plant that says bioengineered food. That sounds tasty, doesn't it? Bioengineered food. Anyway, so you're in the aisle and you're trying to make quick choices for your family, and you're supposed to. But I don't know. Everybody wants to make quick choices. Nobody wants to linger in the grocery store, at least not most people. What are you supposed to do? Pull out your phone, scan the old QR code, load a website, read the ingredient breakdown. That's not transparency. That's designed confusion. And by the way, the law only applies to food with detectable modified genetic material. So refined GMO sugar or oil might not require disclosure at all. Seems kind of shady and gray. Now let's talk about serving sizes. Let's talk about the nutritional facts panel. It looks official, scientific maybe even impartial. But one part of it is completely subjective, the serving size. Manufacturers choose serving sizes based on reference amounts customarily consumed, but they got a lot of leeway there. Oh, yeah. That bag of chips says 150 calories. That might be per 12 chips, when we all know we're going to eat 50 of them things, okay? Serving sizes can be manipulated to make fat, sugar, and sodium look smaller. Same for beverages. Ever drink a bottled smoothie labeled 110 calories per serving? Only to see 2.5 servings per bottle in the fine print. The front says 110, but the truth is if you drink the whole thing, you're getting 275. This isn't lying, it's legal labeling math, but it's misleading all the same. Interesting. Now, let's look at some cloaking devices. Food companies are magicians with sugar. They abracadabra here. They know consumers are looking for it, so they split it across different names. Here's some of those, like corn syrup, dextrose, maltose, cane crystals, brown rice syrup, evaporated cane juice. By using multiple sweeteners, none of them rise to the top of the ingredients list because they're individually lighter in weight. But combined, they could make up the bulk of the product. It's a sleight of hand, if you will. Don't look over here while I'm doing this over here. But it's totally legal. That's the whole thing. Same goes for MSG. You know that big old word, monosodium glutamate. If they don't add it directly, they can call it yeast extract, or hydrolyzed soy protein, or natural flavor. Natural flavor, by the way, is an umbrella term. It can hide dozens of lab-derived substances, Even if the original source was a real strawberry, the fine natural strawberry flavor might not have anything you'd recognize as food. Now, this sounds like a Klingon meat processor. I'm sorry. That's a good one. Now, let's get into one that's very serious. Okay, and that's allergens. Okay, only the top 9, because this allergen label is important. Thankfully, the law requires declaration of the top 9 allergens. Now, this is 1 through 9: milk, eggs, fish, shellfish, tree nuts, peanuts, wheat, soybeans, and sesame was added in 2023. But here's the catch: only those 9. If you're allergic to corn or sensitive to artificial dyes like red 40 or yellow 5, which thankfully they're getting rid of, you're on your own. The FDA doesn't require disclosure of those. And manufacturers aren't required to disclose potential cross-contamination unless they choose to. You hear that? Unless they choose to. May contain traces of is a voluntary warning. So even something labeled dairy-free might be made on shared equipment without telling you. Oh my. Anyway, that's like they're. I don't like that one right there because allergies can be dangerous for people. Now let's move on into marketing. Oh man, buzzwords is your question. Let's rapid fire some common food label terms that sound great but often mean very little. Free range. For poultry, it only means they had access to the outdoors. No requirement for time spent or quality of the outdoor area. Okay, it just means they have access. A lot of times that's on concrete or whatever. It's very limited. Cage free doesn't mean pasture raised. It just means the animals aren't in cages. They could still be packed in a warehouse or a barn. And farm raised sounds quaint. But what it just means it's not wild caught. It applies to mass scale operations too. And no added hormones in poultry. This is no added hormones. Federal law already prohibits hormone use in chicken. So this label is true, but also completely unnecessary. It's a marketing flex on a rule that applies to every chicken. And it's, I mean, it's already there. It just makes it look good. Anyway, so what's the alternative? Where does this leave us? If the laws are incomplete, if the labels are confusing, if the truth is is more about packaging than food, what can you do? Well, here's the farm to table way forward right here. Number 1, and this is a good one right here. Know your farmer. Shake their hand. Ask them how they grow or raise their food. Local transparency beats federal regulation every time. Shop farmers markets and co-ops. Talk to vendors. Learn to decode claims like beyond organic or regenerative. Those are good. Read the ingredients list, not just claims. The truth is in the fine print, and that's a fact. Use label decoding apps if needed, but don't depend on them. Get familiar with common food industry tricks, which is what we started doing this morning. Support real food advocates. When you vote with your dollar, you vote for the kind of food system you want. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday, that sometimes that's a loaded deal, but it's still one way to have a say. Now, at the end of the day, food labeling laws are kind of like fences, right? They keep the obvious stuff out, but the wolves and the coyotes, well, they might slip through the loopholes. Your best defense is curiosity, connection, and community. We don't just need smarter labels, we need smarter people. And I know that's a rare commodity these days, but that's what we need. So keep asking questions. Keep growing your own if you are. Keep showing up at your local farmer's gate. Because the more we know about what's behind the label, the less power the marketing has, and the more power we have at the table. So real food doesn't need a flashy label. It just needs a faithful steward. So stay local, stay curious, and stay fed. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. The chat has been rolling over there. I've been trying to ignore it as I was reading. I hope that was all helpful. And let's go back up, as Bro calls it, roll call. Let's get up to the top there. Good morning, Jack, Dyer Family Farm. First one in this morning. Good morning, the Wild Huckleberry. Robbie, glad to see you in. Bro's in. I knew that. I seen that. Let's see. Where are we at? Scotty, I've been here since last night. Good one. Good morning, Shane Cody. Hey, good to see you, bud. Scotty, you're killing me. Uh, let's see. Let's get down through there. Good morning, Janae. Glad to have you in with us this morning. When my notification came out, I put my 2 cents in. Oh, goodness, you're killing. You're great. You're on one already, Scotty. That's good. Good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Glad to see you in with us. Let's see who's down there. Let's see. Let's see. Home, you mean home from the mall and everything? It's only until September. Okay. Uh, let's see. Grass fed. Here's Jack's comment. Grass fed only has to be on grass for 180 days at some period in their life. Doesn't mean that it was grass fed the whole time. We'll put that up, Jack. Yes, that is absolutely correct. And that's just another one of the legal loopholes that is there. That they can use, and they do use quite frequently. Good morning, Greg, Donna, whichever one is up and at early this morning. And let's see. Good morning, Joy Bartlett. Good to see you in. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Let's see. Scotty says, with all the words we can't pronounce, they're probably poisoning the consumer and helping Big Pharma get richer. Yeah, that might have been, yeah, that was kind of tied in with yesterday's episode for certain. Uh, anyway, let's see. Good morning, Chris Thompson. Glad to see you in this morning. And yes, Robbie, so many practices are shady. Yes, they are. It's marketing. It's about getting you, the consumer, to buy. I think you're doing the right thing. Let's see. Going to eat the whole bag. Talking about the chips. Yes. There's no eat 10. Yeah. That's why I try not to. One of my weaknesses is Reese's Pieces. For some reason or other, I like the little things. And if I got a bag, like a big bag, I'll just sit there and chew on that all day. So chips are the same way. Chips are my wife's downfall. Uh, and Greg, that's what cracked me up. And Greg figured out I was live this morning. Sounds like a Klingon meat processor. Yeah, something like that. Let's see. Uh, da, da, da. Jamie Gayton, good morning. It didn't start exactly at 6, so I figured he wasn't Memorex today. Yeah, it took me a minute. I was working on some stuff last minute. Keith said if we don't trust ourselves, there's no one we can trust. Yeah, okay. Chris is over on YouTube now. Think outside the big box store, shop local. Jack said yes, indeed. Joe, see, Janae says shop local. Let's see, where am I at here? Shop local, support the farmers. Remember the word, Ryan, have been infusing words. It's called sovereignty. Yes. Let's see. Where are we at? I miss it. Call me stupid, but why is organic more expensive? Um, Organic is more expensive because the people who have the organic label had to pay to get it, and the foods that they have to feed them on and stuff. The rules they have to jump through to keep that organic label, and also just marketing. They know if it's got organic, they can charge more. People will pay more because for years that was a niche market and still is to some degree, but that was a very niche market and people would pay for it. Good morning, Rebecca Touchbeyarn. Glad to see you all in. Well, now that I've done roll call and we've gotten through, it's more expensive because it can be. That's a good one, Robbie. That's about the straightforward of it. Um, anyway, kind of catch up right quick. Some of you may or may not have noticed because we did a little bit of thing or thingamabopper. The experiment is over as far as Keith and I being on our old channel versus our new channel. I remember we had the Farm to Table Direct show, and then we had the Farm to Table show. Well, you may notice that Keith's commenting on the Farm to Table show 2. The number 2 is there. What's going on is the experiment is over. We did well in excess of 50 videos. It has been nearly 60 days. And honestly, other than when we went vertical, uh, we've not seen any uptick in boost or push. And thank you, Jack. We love you too, brother. Yes, Key said the results are in. And honestly, other than going vertical and that decision, we've seen no noticeable boost. We believe that the shorts would have got the same type of views regardless. We believe that what we're doing would be in the same place. And we were still gaining one or two subs on the Farm to Table Direct Show channel. And quite honestly, it's a lot closer to the magic numbers than this one was starting over. So after almost 2 months of experimentation, we said, this is not really productive. Let's move everything back over. So yesterday, Keith, behind the scenes over there, turned what had been the Farm to Table Show channel, the new one that everybody was hanging out on, to the Farm to Table Show 2, and went back to our original channel and put the Farm to Table Show. So the original Farm to Table Direct Show's title has been changed to the Farm to Table Show. So for those of us that were already with us for all this time, who've been along for the ride and know us and everything, you'll have no problem finding this over there. You're probably already subscribed, as long as you didn't unsubscribe. So you might want to check that. We're going to do this until next Tuesday. So a week from today will be our last time that we're going to simulcast, because right now I'm broadcasting to both channels like we did when we started this experiment. Next Tuesday is the 100th episode of the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Can't believe it's coming up on 100 already, but here we are. And so after the 100th episode, we will no longer be broadcasting anything on the Farm to Table Show 2 channel. We will be all back on the original channel, and we're going to pick back up and start building watch hours and doing our work over there. Now, all that big, long statement to basically tell you what's going on. Keep y'all up on post. Y'all stuck with us. You moved over. Some of you joined us over here on this channel. And if you go in now and you search the Farm to Table Show, it will bring you to our original channel. The new channel says the Farm to Table Show 2, and that will now be the old channel. So I know it's kind of confusing, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes it confuses my brain too. But anyway, so that being said, we got that out of the way. Now, something that I had, excuse me, I'm going to get this over here so I can read this right. Maybe. We did yesterday's show about, grocery stores and ownership and some of those types of things. And then we did today about, that's what I'm looking for here, about labeling and the labeling laws. And what we're doing is we're starting on the Farm to Table Show 7 Steps to Self-Reliance. Oh, Robbie, thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for that. And yeah, well, there's no way we're going to forget you guys. Y'all guys are the ones that would have been here cheerleading and pushing us. And on the days when we're tired and the days when we're, kind of frustrated, the days we don't, and I know y'all guys are going to be here. That's when, that keeps us going. And yes, good morning, Janet. No worries. We're still here hanging out for a few more minutes. And yes, thanks for the love. Appreciate it very much. So anyway, we've been going over, we're going to be introducing and rolling this out, which is the Farm to Table Show 7 Steps to Self-Reliance. Now, we are on step 1 this week. Step 1 is wake up to the system. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. Start by learning where your food and water and energy come from and who controls it. Read labels, visit local farms, ask questions, shift from convenience to consciousness. The goal is to begin replacing passive consumption with active decision making. You can't opt out of a system you don't even see. Okay, so that's step 1, and that's what all of our episodes this week. Next week will be the next step, and so on, and we'll be bringing y'all through that. And yes, thank you. Y'all hit the old thumbs up over there. And don't worry, Scotty, we can never forget you, Scotty. It's you help make this show what it is. All of y'all do in the chat, and y'all help. Otherwise it'd just be me sitting over here running around talking mundane facts. And anyway, sorry, my chat GPT thing was over there squawking. But anyway, so looking forward to going forward, the 7 steps. And this week, of course, is waking up to the system, waking up and becoming aware. Many of you already are, but this will be 7 weeks. And he said master course. I don't know, maybe. But anyway, it's kind of leading on to what Keith and I are working on this year, which is the 7, moving right on the self-reliance scale and these 7 steps to help do that. And anyway, so the first step is, of course, just becoming aware, waking up to the system and what the problems are. And that's what you're doing here today. And that's what these first 2 days this week have been about. So yesterday's episode will probably be moved over to the new channel, back to the old channel, however you want to say that, just so that we have all 7, all the episodes related to it on there, maybe. But anyway, so let's get on. Let's move on here. Hope everybody's been enjoying the weather. It's getting kind of warm. And speaking of weather, let's go on over to Jack and see what's happening with our good redneck weather report. Let me get that up to where y'all can see that. The volume up a little bit there.
Good morning, rednecks. It is 60 degrees this morning, May the 13th, 2025. We got a 9-mile-an-hour south-southeast wind, making it feel like it's 57. But get this, y'all, we're going to get to 90 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow.
All right. Ooh, getting hot out there, Jack. Getting hot. Anyway, so there's the redneck weather report. Now let's move real quick because I'm up against the clock. Here's our homestead hack for the day. Decode it yourself, the ingredient swap list. Ever feel overwhelmed trying to dodge hidden sugars, dyes, and preservatives or packaged food labels? Yep, here's your hack. Make yourself a DIY ingredient swap list and keep it on your fridge or your phone. Okay? Start with the 5 biggest offenders. I just did the weather report, Jack. Where are you at? We need. Janet said they need rain bad here in southeast Iowa. Well, you can have some of ours because man, we have been getting it loaded up on us. It's finally not. But anyway, so back to the DIY hack ingredient swap. So start with 5 high fructose corn syrup. Swap it for honey or maple syrup. Natural flavors. Choose products with specific ingredients like vanilla extract or lemon juice. And hydrogenated oils. Yeah, look for cold pressed oils like olive or avocado instead of some of that junk. And let's see, artificial colors. Yeah, well, they're supposed to be going anyway. Opt for products colored with beets, turmeric, or paprika. That might be interesting. And MSG and its disguises. Avoid anything with autolyzed, hydrolyzed, or yeast extract. Print it, laminate it, screenshot it, and use it as your cheat sheet on the store runs or pantry audits. And better yet, guide your DIY pantry projects, homemade spice mixes, jams, and sauces. You'll know exactly what's going in, and you'll never need a QR code to know it's real food. So anyway, there's that. Just making yourself a list of substitutions that you can put in place for some of these things on the ingredient list. Now, it's supposed to be 80 to 90, pretty hot here. It's 80 today, I think, up around 80, which was hotter than yesterday. So, yeah, it's warming up down here. Quote of the day: the food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. That was said by Anne Wigmore. The food you eat can either be the safest and most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. And that is an absolute truth. I'm going to skip over the upcoming events other than Mid-America YouTube Meetup is this weekend. It is this weekend, 3 days. Lake Eufaula State Park, Deep Fork Campground Pavilion, May 16th through the 18th. MT Homestead is the host. That is MT Homestead, OK at gmail.com. And they're on Facebook and all that stuff. A lot of people are going to be there. I know I'm not making it. Unfortunately, scheduling and stuff just isn't going to work out. But that's this weekend, Mid America. And we will pick back up on tomorrow, hopefully, on the next of the rest of that. So, and yes, I did say if you did the weather report is on matter of but thank you. No, I always try to. Uh, always try to get you in there, Jack. I have been known to forget once or twice. But anyway, that is a wrap for today on the Farm to Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit the old thumbs up, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Oh, please share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected and help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like y'all. Scotty's got a newest one. Hashtag we shall overcome adversity. Absolutely. Through the grace of God and prayer, yes. But anyway, as our normal hashtag stronger together, hashtag think outside the big box store shop local was thrown out there earlier as a reminder. Anyway, we're going to start growing these hashtags. It's going to be deal. But anyway, be a blessing to someone today, even if it's just a smile, and just be a blessing and do good things. And we will see you all on the other side. And we're going to hand this over to Hank to take us on out of here.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.